Welcome to Don't Feed the Geeks, presented by the Long Island Comic Guys, the masters of the geeky verse. All right, welcome guys. We have a little bit of a different format tonight. I'm TC. We have a bunch of people joining. We have JJ.
What up, Rebel Scums? Scum?
we have Toy Story.
What's up, everyone?
Ben Oz.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Mike Caro from Undead Inc.
What's up?
Guest.
What's up?
And Tom Travers, multiple time guest.
This is now the third time he's been
Hall of Fame guest.
third timer.
Free to go.
Yeah, he's got the triple crown for DFTG guest.
It's always a great time. Always good. Hello.
Yeah, so I think, this is a little bit of therapy for not just you guys listening, but I think for us a little bit too. We don't really have a specific topic. We're just kind of have a roundtable discussion. We are going to try and do a little bit of the geek beat though, to kick it off. Toy Story, do you want to take the reins for now or pass it along?
I mean, so much has happened in the last week. That's like even just talking about the geek world, everything's like completely different now. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Diamond's pausing all releases indefinitely? Ozzy, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, as of this past Wednesday, Diamond officially stopped sending out books. So there will be nothing coming out this coming week. And we don't know when they're going to restart shipping out. So we're all kind of in limbo right now. We also don't know how they're going to be shipping out. So we don't know if we're going to get 4 weeks worth of books in one shot, or it's going to be spread out, or how they're going to break it up. And I don't even think they know right now because all the printing presses and everything are over in Canada. It's all shut down right now, so nothing's printing. So
I read today that they're kind of urging publishers to slow down with whatever they're doing because they don't know when it's going to be back up. So
do you know if that? Do you know if that includes the digital stuff, or are they going to be releasing digitally?
So rumor had it the digital stuff was going to continue coming out, but there was a lot of backlash, it seems. So I don't know if they're going to go through with the digital stuff right now. Rumor has it they were going to release everything digitally, but that would dramatically hurt the small guys like Best Comics and other comic shops like that. So it doesn't look like they're going to go through with it.
I hope that's the case.
Huh.
Yeah, because I mean, once people start going digitally, I don't think they're going to go back to getting regular copies.
That's the thing, yeah.
I was thinking about that actually a lot today, and I feel like in our world, like people who read, like I read almost exclusively digitally, but I still buy books. Like I feel like people are not just a reader but a collector. That it's still a real strong, like, I need a copy is worth nothing. Just talking to new books, this Punchline Girl. I haven't read the book that she came out in yet, but I mean, if you have the digital copy, that's not worth anything. You're not selling that for like $75 to however much it's going for. So I guess it's weird.
Problem is millennials, a lot of them don't want regular copies. They're okay with going digital, so there's not a lot of guys looking per se like collectors like us. So I think it would really hurt if they started releasing everything digitally and not giving us hard copies.
Well, DC did say when was this today actually that they're exploring a multi-distributor model, whatever that means. So they're looking for a way to get the comics out there while this is going on,
digitally.
I think.
So they're looking at it digitally, but there was a huge backlash on vendors' ends.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys want to touch on any other topics then? There's a little bit of dead air there, sorry.
What are the mail away subscriptions like they used to?
I think they still do those. They're advertised in the new books at the bottom, like in the small print.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy.
You could still pay like a little bit of a discount and get everything like pay yearly or something.
I think I did that like before I went to Best Comics. I was
Did you really?
ordering a couple of books, yeah.
Like through Marvel.
You get them late though. You don't get them at the same time.
Did they ship them securely? Like, did they come in decent condition or?
No. That's why I stopped doing it. I had this really nice.
Throw them in an envelope or something.
So that you could get variants though.
They just fold them in half like they used to.
Yeah. So I actually have this really nice copy of this like Master of the Universe book, which is one of the ones I was doing subscription. And there's like a Natty Toy Collector variant, and it's actually a pretty expensive book, but mine got like gnarled in like the mail. So it's like I was upset by that.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna be nice.
Yeah, my brother used to subscribe like back in the late 90s or whatever, like in late 90s to like Marvel Adventures, like it was geared towards kids, and they would just like send the comic literally like in the mail, just the comic, like maybe wrapped in plastic at most, but it would just come like all destroyed. Like,
I think back in the day,
that's how it was still happening.
I think back in the day, that's why a lot of those old issues have the there's a name for it, Ozzy, the crease down the center from being folded.
Yeah.
The subscription crease or whatever. Yeah. They just fold them out and put them in people's mailboxes.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Mike actually knocked one of those out on my first Poison Ivy. I had a really crazy looking one.
Really?
Yeah, I've had a few books that have had that actually. It's pretty. If they're not too bad, you can get them out.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't break it all the way down the spine, all the way down the center.
Yeah.
So what did it go from like a 3.0 to like a 9.6?
No, actually it was. It's kind of funny. He like got the crease out, and it only like broke color in a little spot, but it came back with the color touch.
Wow.
Like really?
Like, what it was, somehow it came back restored. We have no idea. Mike missed it too. I have no idea.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a 6.0. It's absolutely beautiful, but it came back in a purple label, and we still have no idea why.
Like, you got to get that removed.
We never saw it. He looked into it. He had no idea. He's like, I've looked at this whole book. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Oh my god. All right. So anyway, moving on. Along with the comics and stuff being delayed, obviously a lot of superhero movies, amongst other movies, supposed to be coming out the next few months that are no longer. Specifically, Wonder Woman and Black Widow.
Ugh.
Hey Matt, I'm sorry to interject real quick. I heard there was something going on with this movie that was supposed to originally be going straight to DVD.
Guess when that was supposed to come out? That was supposed to come out next Friday. New Mutants, my movie.
That was the New Mutants I was referring to.
Yes, it's supposed to come out next Friday. I'm very sad.
So what are they doing now with it?
I don't know. No idea. I actually haven't looked into it. I should.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll probably go right to Disney Plus, right?
So a lot of people have been calling for like Black Widow and Wonder Woman to just go straight to digital. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Even like David Harbour saying that would be cool to do.
How much money would they lose?
There's
though?
no way that's gonna happen.
How much money would
They're
they
expecting
lose?
like $1 billion at the box office for each of those. Yeah. There's no way they do that.
So they're gonna lose a unbelievable amount of money doing it that way.
I was surprised they said $1 billion for Black Widow. I was like, that seems a little high.
Doctor made what, 800 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Strange made 800 million. I don't think $1 billion for her is too crazy.
Wow.
You got to think about like what they make on these movies. Some of them are really ridiculous.
I mean, if I was them, I probably would hold it too.
Yeah, but at this point, how much longer are you going to hold out? What are you going to pack every single movie for the last?
There's so much.
Year?
So much is going to come out in like November.
They're not gonna. They're still gonna stagger it. It's just, it's not. They're not making new stuff. So it's not.
I think literally just on pause for however long it is, and then they just pick back up, I guess, when this is over.
Crazy.
Yeah, but that throws off everything else. That's the scheduling on everything else. Now you're going to have 3 movies produced by Disney. They're not going to make as much money because you're going to have 3 movies in the box office competing with each other.
Yeah, they're going to have to push back the entire plan, however long it is.
They could get a ton of Disney Plus subscriptions. lot of people would join in just to see the new movies. But
yeah, I mean, I thought that's the route they would take to sucker everyone in and get them to spend more money.
I think that they've probably been like thinking about that. I don't know if they would get as much because you gotta realize like people might just jump on for a month, $7.99, watch those movies, and then they're out. As opposed
you mean like a lot of Star Wars guys did?
yeah.
Yep.
Did you do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I still have my subscription, but
Oh, Mike, thanks. You just reminded me of something else. So,
I still have like 3 years free. I signed up to like I locked in for 4 years, and then I did like the Verizon. So I don't think I've paid yet.
I also have the 3 years. But Mike, you just reminded me of something else. So for anybody who watches Mandalorian, Rosario Dawson is going to be playing Ahsoka in season 2.
cool.
That is huge. People have been like, that's like been a fan want for the last 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
What's the deal with season 2? Is there a release date yet for season 2 or
Sometime next year, I think. I think they finished filming it a couple weeks ago before this thing started.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I'm like drawing a blank right now. What time period did that take on Mandalorian? Was it after?
Return of
It
the
was
after Return of the Jedi, before the
Force Awakens?
Before the Force Awakens.
correct.
Okay.
It's
I think it
5.
was like
It's
5 years
it's
after
5
Return
years.
of the Jedi.
Yeah, 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, so for anybody who watches Clone Wars, that's a huge thing.
Nice to see that.
Cool. Okay.
Jim, have you been watching Clone Wars?
I have been. I'm 1 episode behind. So
I haven't watched any. I'm just gonna binge it when it's
oh,
done.
it's I can't. I have to watch it because
It's good.
yeah, I like it. I like it. It brings back those those good memories of the the other 6 seasons that they had, because that was such a powerful part of the whole, I think, to the whole Star Wars universe was those cartoons.
Yeah, super underrated.
Cool.
I always heard that. I always heard it was really, really good. I never got into it though.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, if you have a bad taste in your mouth from the prequels, it's gonna be hard to get into. But I always like to say that it makes the prequels better because they those movies, as bad as they were, they did so much world building that you could have done so much with, and this show did that.
The only thing that I noticed was they drew Anakin different with this season than the past. It must be a different
because he has longer hair now, right?
And his face is a little more. It's older looking. Like it doesn't fit what the other 6 seasons.
I feel like he looks madder. Like
yeah.
He's just generally pissed off.
Well,
yeah, which is where it's leading to is
on his way.
I mean, shortly after that season, he does water a bunch of kids.
Exactly.
Oh, was that him?
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh man.
Does Hayden Christensen or whatever do the voice?
No, it's some other guy.
No, thankfully.
There's they have a couple of voice actors specific to that show who are who do all the animated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got. Anybody else got anything going on?
Well, the one
There hasn't been much, but
the other thing they got, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this game. It's an older game, but back in my day, it was one of the first cartoon games, arcade games. But Space Ace, there was Space Ace, and then there was Dragon's Lair. I think it was Dragon's Lair first, and then Space Ace. But Ryan Reynolds up for the lead for Dragon's Lair movie coming out, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I think he's a good fit for that.
Dragon's Lair or Slayer?
Dragon's.
Do you know, Jim? Is it
Dragon's Lair?
Is it Dragon's Lair? Yeah, I love Dragon's. I love the original game and the Don Bluth animation.
Yep.
Is this going to be an animated movie or is it going to be
live action?
Live action.
Live action.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's got Ryan Reynolds. I mean, I think he's got that fit for that guy. I mean, if you've ever played the game, he kind of fits that character. So it's kind of cool to think about that.
I remember being.
He's just gonna be Deadpool with a sword.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just like in Pokemon, he was.
And Pokemon, Pikachu.
Yeah, it was just Deadpool with a yellow Deadpool rat.
I remember playing that in the arcade as a kid. I probably spent all $10 in quarters, and never got past the first part. It was one of the hardest games.
You and everybody else.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, wasn't that game like notoriously hard?
It was,
like
yeah.
really difficult.
Yeah. And Space Ace was also.
Well, because there was no like instruction on what you were supposed to do.
No,
Like it was very like, oh, you have to.
you had to wait for the quick flashes, the quick flash of, you know, wherever direction you had to go or button to hit. That was, and it was real quick. Like if you didn't nail it at that time, you were screwed.
And I'm sure it was a lot of trial and error to figure out how to exactly do it.
Yep. Very cool.
Nice.
The animation is beautiful though in those games. Beautiful.
It is.
Absolutely.
The animation. Yeah.
Yep. I need to get more. I need to get more wine. Can I walk away? You guys can talk. I need more.
Go, sure.
I need more.
My second glass of scotch, so I may dip out for a little bit at some point too.
What else are you guys drinking? Anybody?
Yeah, that's a good
Tom, how many beers have you had?
I'm on my second beer. I've got Land Shark.
He's got it's always the rule of 5 with Tom. So however many he tells you he's had 5 times that.
I'm a living tall tale at this point.
Yeah, you're like the Paul Bunyan of beer.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Nice, Jim's got this one. Good.
What about you, Toy Story? What do you got?
It's called Swordledge. It's maple whiskey. It's very good.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Chateau Monteleone.
Brought it back. What's that?
What did
One.
you get, Jim?
Chateau. The
Chateau Montelena?
Yep.
Oh, the one you guys keep ordering every year and forget to cancel.
And we just got this last week. Another case.
What year is it? 2016?
This is the 2016.
Nice. What about you? Just the water, staying hydrated?
Yeah. I got my butt handed to me yesterday, so.
Oh boy.
That's fair.
All right.
All right. I mean, I have nothing else in terms of news. Anybody else?
Movies. Did you see that the Vin Diesel Bloodshot movie went to? It was in theaters, and then after this thing broke out, now you can buy it anywhere.
It came out like a couple days before this, right?
Yeah, it came out the day before.
Yeah, but it's actually doing pretty good. It's made not what it would have made in the movie theater, but it's made a couple million already.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Is Bloodshot's first appearance gone up in value at all because of this, or what?
Yes, it has. Hasn't skyrocketed, but it's gone up a little bit.
What book is it?
It's Raw. Zero.
Oh, Zero. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm looking at the poster now. So funny. Vin Diesel. I just see Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I saw the preview and I was just like, it doesn't really appeal to me.
What'd you say?
It seems like Groundhog's Day meets Fast and the Furious.
What are his powers? He's like he regenerates. He's like indestructible.
Well, he's got like cybernetic like nanites living in him, and they regenerate. They make him super fast, super strong. But the government uses him, and then they mind wipe him.
So he's a weapon.
So he's a complete weapon, and then once he starts to realize what's going wrong, he turns on the government.
Right.
So it was a
I bought a couple
premiere.
of comics. I bought a few recent issues because Brett Booth was drawing. He drew an arc recently, and the art was awesome, but I didn't really get too into the story, honestly. But
well, the story they're using, I think, is from the Jeff Lemire run, which is from I think like 3 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
I think that was actually pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, I'd like to see it eventually. Just check it out.
Cool.
Is
that it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a slow
All right,
week.
so what have you guys been doing to keep sane the last 2 weeks?
Well, before we jump right into it, we will acknowledge that there has been a serious crisis going on.
Acknowledge it.
COVID, Corona, whatever you want to call it.
The Rona.
It's crazy. I mean, I don't want to focus too much time on it because I know this is all we've been hearing about. I know people who are listening, it's all they've been hearing about. But it's literally shifted the world. It's crazy. It's going to be right in there in the history books, like, you know, the Great Depression or something even worse than that. I think, you know, we're living history right now, and the thing is going to change everything. And, you know, with all the negative that we've heard about it, I think it's good. This is kind of what we talked about earlier. You know, we want to talk about some of the positives that's coming out of all this unfortunate, you know, negatives that are happening around us. So, you know, we hope everyone's staying safe, you know, following, you know, the guidelines of, you know, your local government and everything. You know, stay outside, stay away from people, wash your hands. It's really weird to me that we have to tell people to do that, but if you didn't know before, please do that.
Well said.
Yeah, and stop buying too much toilet paper, guys. I mean, come on. You know, and it's crazy, and I'm just gonna do this real quick, and I almost don't want it. All these places that you bought the stuff from, they won't take it back now. They're not accepting returns, which I don't understand why, because people need it. But if you bought too much, how about, you know, be a good person at this point? You know, don't try to like sell, you know, people a roll of toilet paper for $50. At this point, why don't you just give it away? Like, you know, find out who needs stuff, you know, put stuff out there on social media and say, hey, you know, I have a lot of extra, you know, hit me up, let me know who needs it, and I'll send it to you or get it to you. I mean, you know, I think, you know, humanity usually rises above this stuff pretty well. And I think, you know, on top of all the negative, you know, the positive doesn't get reported as much. And I think there's a lot of people doing good stuff. And, you know, if you can, try to do anything you can.
Well said.
You know, that's interesting you said that, because, you know, I was on a Facebook, I was looking at some Nintendo games that are coming out for the Switch and everything like that. And there was a posting I was reading, and it's a new game coming out, or it's out now. And this guy said, you know, hey, I'd love to get this game, but, you know, hey, I just lost my job because of, you know, what's going on in the world. And some person on it actually sent the guy money to buy the game, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. And the guy was like super appreciative.
I heard, you know, a story, you know, my wife was telling me the other day that, you know, people who have been, you know, kind of down on the luck and sharing. I mean, I would never personally do that, but that's just me. I'm kind of a little different when it comes to that. But Taylor Swift has been like sending people like, you know, thousands of dollars from like people who are saying like, you know, they're down in their luck kind of thing. You know, I think there is a lot of good out there, you know, going on right now. I would say probably more good than bad.
However you feel like you can or want to help, you should. Whatever you feel like you should do.
100%. I mean, even as you know, something as small as like helping like local businesses. You know, we have some food. Like, you know, we've been buying a decent amount, but you know, we're also ordering from like local restaurants in our area. If you guys have like local restaurants in your area, you know, keep ordering from them. All, you know, essential restaurants, food places, they're still open. I mean,
local comic shop.
Yes. You know, I was gonna allude to that next. You know, I haven't been like into like the posting and like sharing, and it's just like, it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just like I haven't felt into it. And yesterday I jumped on the live stream that Royal Collectibles was doing with Elite Comics, and it was just like, it got me pumped up. You know, so many people were helping them out. You know, I think Mike, you know, from Royal was really moved from the response, you know, from the community. And, you know, I understand not everybody can contribute right now, not everybody's working, but if you have the means and you can contribute, you know, do it. If you don't have the means, try to contribute somewhere else. I mean, if you're out of work, maybe there's places that, you know, there's people who are feeling well and, you know, you think you can contribute. I think it'd be a great thing to do.
Okay, I'm not responsible for that little hiccup in the audio. So if it comes out on the, you know, on the actual podcast, I have no control over that. Because it did sound like you were slurring your words, like you've been drinking heavily. So just be aware that wasn't my responsibility right there.
All right, yeah.
No, well, that was well said, Tess. Absolutely well said.
Yes. Yeah. So if anybody, however they feel like they could help, please do support everybody. You know, if you guys want to send me comic books, I'll take that. You know.
So Tess, can you?
Story's still working. Send him comic books.
Tess, can you talk?
Send them to Mike and Tom, you can do that.
Tez, can you talk about a little bit what happened? Was because I didn't get on that Instagram thing last night from Royal. Like what was going on with that?
Sure. So they teamed up with I think a decent amount of people know about Elite Comics. They did like an online Comic-Con like months ago before this stuff even happened. So they're kind of big in like the community of like online people selling and like trustworthy dealers and stuff like that. So they're doing this like remedy tour is what he's calling it. And this was the first stop was actually Royal Collectibles, which is really cool. So what he's doing is he's going to each shop. He's, they're doing like a live stream. They're splitting it, Royals followers and Elite's followers can all see this live stream. They're kind of co-doing it together. And, they're just selling books. People, he puts stuff up there. People can bid, you type things in. I mean, it can get a little hairy on Instagram with, the responses are a little delayed, but I mean, for the most part, I think it went really well. I think, some contribution in some of the things that I picked up. So I picked up 2 things during the stream.
Would you like to share with the class?
I don't want to say what it is because I want to share it later on. And I think this episode will actually probably come up before I pick up the books, so I won't have them to post before that. But I think, I did my part. I was on the fence originally, and then I was like, you know what? I love Royal Collectibles. I want them to be able to get through this. They're one of, if not the best shop that I've ever been to in my life. So, I had a little bit of means to help them out. And, I think I bought some decent books. So 2 of the books, I'll tell you 2 of them I bought on the stream because that was already out there, anybody who was on there. So he had a couple of like Amazing Spider-Mans, like later ones, like in the 300s. It was like one with Spider-Man and Hulk on the cover, and I think another one with, I don't even remember who it was, but a couple of different characters. And I got both of them 9/8 for like $90. Nice. So 2 9/8 Spider-Mans. Whatever. It was like I have them already, but might as well have like a couple of 9/8 slabs. And then I got 2 other big books afterwards that after the stream ended, I talked to, I'm luckily have Mr. Mike at Royal's number, and we worked something out.
Are they big books or big books?
Big books.
So one's a big one, another one's a big book. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say big, like it's not AF-15 stuff like that, but it's a big book.
Good for
you. I was
you.
staring at it for about 2 hours on the stream, and I was like, Tess would like that probably.
Yeah, it's a big silver.
Nice.
Let's do this.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, so Elite's doing this tour. He's going to do a couple comic shops every couple days, I think. So
Sunday is another one. I just shared it on our page. It's a comic book shop in California. If you give me 1 second, I'll get the exact name. It's We Can Be Hero Comics. They're out on the West Coast, so they're going to be the next stop.
It'll be cool for us to see stuff we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. So I think it's Sunday, which will be yesterday at this point because this will be released on Monday.
I mean, I can't go to shows, I can't go to shops, so I'm going to jump on these streams and see what's.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to buy, I think Royal was making a lot of big deals. It's funny because it was all different stuff too. He showed some of the statues, stuff like that. I mean, they were supposed to go from 6 to 8, I think. They didn't get off until 9:15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did really well, I think.
So yeah, I think early on, I didn't see the ones early on because I didn't get on the stream until about like 7:30. But Toy Story was saying that it dropped. People picked up a couple big books.
A lot of stuff. Aquaman 1, Avengers 1, Spidey 5. It was crazy stuff that they picked up.
Good.
Yeah, there was a couple of books that went, which I kind of kicked myself later on. Somebody bought like a 60 book run of Fantastic Four, maybe like late silver, early bronze, for like $120. I was like, I should have just told them I would take that. But yeah, it was really good. It was awesome. No qualms at all about helping those guys out. Oz, I would honestly talk to Tommy at best. Reach out to that guy. If he can do something with Best, I think you guys should definitely do it.
Yeah. Good chance to move stuff that's been there.
Yeah, I think it's. I think if it's moved to sell, people are going to be willing to buy. So I mean, that's got to be a consideration too. But even if you guys don't do that, maybe try to do it on your own if you can't even do it with him. Because I think Royal's still going to do streams aside from, the one with the league. But
yeah, definitely we'll bring it up to him.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to stay afloat, during these times. I definitely want to see Best, stick around too. They're my LCS.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We gotta support these guys.
Yeah.
So
right, so I guess let's get into what?
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So let's get a little bit of positives of what we've been doing. What's been different, how we've been spending our time. I know me personally, I haven't had to travel, which is awesome. I have been working full time, probably working harder and more hours because I feel like I have to prove that I'm working from home.
Dude, I'm doing so much more work at home than I was in the office 2 weeks ago.
Well, it's without distractions too. Working with people, it's distracting. I'm sitting in my office right now. I have no distractions whatsoever.
I'm working more, and I'm getting more done. So I need to slow down a little, or else they're gonna start to expect too much of me.
You gotta lower those expectations.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah,
I think I try to ramp it down by 3 o'clock. I was like, you know what I'll do? I'll slow down now, and then later on at 8 o'clock after my daughter, or 8:30 after my daughter goes to sleep, I'll come back on and do a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like I'm working.
But yeah, not traveling. Spending more time with the family has been awesome. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I've been working probably more than I've ever have because, my entire organization, my office, we're in 9 states and 2 other countries. Everybody's working from home, so I'm supporting India. I'm supporting Philippines. So my day starts at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it doesn't end until late at night. And the first week this went on, it was horrible because, my wife was going to the office still. And so I was working all these hours with work, and then I was homeschooling my 2 little boys. So doing first grade and pre-K schoolwork. And then on top of that, I'm trying to, make food and make sure they play and everything else like that. And it's just, now my wife is home, but it's still chaotic. I mean, you're on the go all the time.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And, I think everybody who's doing that, especially with kids, we're lucky right now, our nanny, childcare is considered essential. And, she's feeling good. She says she only comes straight here and straight home. So, she still wants to help out. Without that, we'd be kind of in a pickle. So, we should applaud all the parents, who are, stepping up, teaching their kids. Obviously all the essential people in restaurants, stuff like that. The medical field, it goes without saying, but, we're going to say it anyway. They're literally the first line of defense here. They're crushing it. It's so weird because this is an invisible thing. I feel like you almost, and this is going to sound terrible to say, but you almost wish that you had someone you were fighting against, because at least what you were fighting. With this, it's just it's an invisible enemy. And the first line of defense are our med scientific community, and we really applaud them for their efforts.
Definitely.
But yeah.
So let's. I want to get back onto the comic. So Oz, real quick. So tell us about what's going on at Best right now.
So currently we're only open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for select hours. We're going from 11 to 4. We're not open to the public. What we're doing is curbside pickup, shipping out anything that we sold online, packing stuff up like trades and things like that for people, shipping that out to them. Just doing what we can to keep our customers and get them whatever it is they want to read, back issues, trades, whatever it is.
So can you still order stuff from Diamond? They'll still ship you what they have?
We're going to find out. All the main hubs are closed. We have smaller hubs that are currently open, and Nick's going to place an order this week for a small order to see if we can get anything, if they have anything.
That's going to be rough.
We don't know what their live inventory is currently.
So, if they run out of inventory and they don't restock, what are they going to do?
So how are people ordering through you? So they call you up and be like, hey, do you have this book? And come to the curb and pick it up?
Yeah, they can call us up. they've been sending us emails on Facebook Messenger, Instagram, whatever it is. And we're just trying to, just keep people happy as best we can.
I guess
we definitely need all the excuse.
I guess Wednesday is going to be a different day for you. I mean, that's going to be just a strange day of nothing coming in.
Yeah, I have no idea what to expect. We'll see. It should be a real interesting day.
So
well, when do they normally come in? They come in Tuesday, right?
Tuesday
to the comic shop.
Yeah, books come in on Tuesday, but we're only going to be open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for now.
Okay.
So going in, I mean, I went in this week and TC pulled up to the store. You saw I ran out with your box and your books, and you were on your way. I mean, I feel like a drug dealer running out to people's cars.
So I was going to ask, is that technically allowed? Like,
yeah,
stores need to be closed?
Well, no, we can do curbside pickup. They can't come into the store and they can't meander in the store. They can't be,
But you could run out to their car.
Right. If they have an order, just like the Benjamin Moore next door, just a lot of places around there are doing the same thing. You place the order, you run out to your car, give you whatever it is that you paid for, and that's it.
Okay. I mean, if it's working, I just hope it lasts while this is going through.
So you guys are obviously only taking electronic payment, right?
Correct. We're doing it all different types of ways. So you can PayPal us, you can pay over the phone with a credit card, whatever the case is, whatever you need to do.
So I could have done this last week, Caro, man. I could have just stuck my arm out the window and you could have tattooed it up and I would have drove away.
I can't really do drive-by tattoos. I wish that was possible.
Oh, that was supposed to be this past weekend, right?
It was.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. Bummer. It was a huge bummer.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Dude, I'm supposed to be.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, what? I'm supposed to be in Japan right now. That obviously didn't happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would have been stuck there.
I legit would have been stuck there.
I mean, our friend Bondoc. I mean, he's lucky he got out.
Chef B.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that obscure character got back home somehow.
It was alright.
Cool.
Just so you guys know, but my significant other refilled my drink.
Oh, that's so nice.
She's a keeper.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for
her.
You texted her.
Babe, I'm on camera. I can't leave. Can you come over?
She's gonna be a huge follow. She's like, sure. She's like, now you have to do me a favor and not come back out today. I think that's fair.
Stay down there.
So you spend most of your time in that little office?
Yeah. So it's funny, and that was one of the things I was gonna say. I was like, I used to love being down here. It's like my little escape. I have you guys can see all my statues behind me, all my books. And now that I'm working down here, like full time, I'm just like, He-Man, this is rough. like my He-Man, I was like, will you guys do some of this work?
Give it like 3 weeks. We're gonna find Tess in his house wearing a purple cloak.
Oh wait, did you see that in the background, Mike? Oh no, never mind. Never mind.
That's fine.
Mike, I think he's already doing that.
100%.
Listen, for all the video conferences I've had to do at work, yeah, I've put on the yellow makeup, obviously.
So Travers, what have you been up to?
I've been just kind of reading a lot of comics and drawing. I'm a substitute teacher, and the schools are out, so I really have nothing going on. I have time to work on creative projects, and
I want a full comic series by the end of this thing.
I know.
He'll pay for it.
I will pay for it.
I know. I'm like, I should be producing a lot more, but I still manage to find distractions too.
I think it's going to get to a point where everybody stops getting distracted so easily. It's like, okay, I got to do something. So.
So what are you reading, Tom?
Actually, I've been just going through I have a decent back issue selection, so just grabbing a bunch of my favorite old stuff, and I have some of it right here. I can pull some copies.
He's
show what we've been doing.
He's going to give us a tour of his house.
I mean, for the podcast, is this the video is going to be part of this, or is it just going to be audio?
No, just audio.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we just have I'll show you my stack of copies. Let me show you my stack.
You'd be proud of me. I've been reading so many.
It's going to be a lot of 90s stuff. Here you go. The first book.
Is that Liefeld crap? Get that crap out of here.
Yep.
He's gone.
I planned that. But, that's for fun, And then I've got Telos, Mike Waringo.
Nice.
You guys ever read this book?
When I need toilet paper, I'm coming over. When I need toilet paper, I'm coming over. You got the perfect stuff right there.
Books are awesome.
I do have a Liefeld box marked toilet paper. I just have to find it.
Yeah, so just more trade paperbacks.
Oh, I love that.
Jim Lee stuff.
That's good.
That was a pretty good run.
That was a good one, yeah.
That was a good run.
Some Hellboy.
Nice.
Good.
Hellboy stuff. Some little stack of it. Some old school Spawn.
Nice.
McFarlane. Nice cover.
This is the first couple of issues of Spawn, the old school McFarlane stuff.
Nice.
This is an old school trade paperback. Soul Saga. This is an obscure series from the late 90s.
Is it Image?
It was Image Comics, yeah, Image and Top Cow, and it was Stephen Platt on the art. He's an awesome artist, over the top artist. Steampunk,
Oh wow.
Chris McCullough, and Joe Kelly. Interesting book, really cool book. My favorite comic of all time, Battle Chasers. Got that one. This is Joe Matter. It's the J. Scott Campbell cover, old school.
I was gonna say it looks like a JSC camp.
Yeah,
I'm impressed you recognize that on the tiny screen.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, no, it went full screen.
It's the chin, that dude's chin.
And then more Jim Lee, and I'm not going to go through the whole stack, but you get the idea. Lots of art heavy comics, maybe a little light on the writing, but
Yeah, I just got into the Legion quest for X-Men. Pretty interesting.
Legion quest? That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's early on though. I'm not very far.
Nice.
I'm only to part 2 or 3.
Is that is it one book or is it multiple?
It was multiple
titles
books,
or
multiple.
That was the lead up to Age of Apocalypse, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's flashy, cool.
I also read X-Men Alpha recently too.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's same thing. They're all tied in. I think they're all leading up to Age of Apocalypse stuff. It was a decent run.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool, and I think a lot of it's been Joe Mad or Waringo kind of art. So it's kind of cool. You can tell they're starting to go a little bit more digital with stuff too. So they're they're testing the waters with a little bit of the digital. So it was funny to see some of that, as opposed to the changeover from the classic paper and pencil.
Yeah, that was that is the era that I got into comics. That's when I first really got into comics at that time. So the art was all over the top, flashy. So I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Still to this day, love that stuff. So
yeah, very sexy art.
yes.
Joe Man is big and booze.
Mike's doing art right now, just so if anyone didn't know.
Yeah, if I'm not super talkative, it's because I'm trying not to screw this thing up for Tom.
Ooh.
Oh.
We've instructed him not to show it to anyone, Tom.
Oh boy.
Has got a preview shot.
And don't make it any. Don't make it.
Man,
Don't make it any.
I already
Don't make it any better than the Joker.
Ooh, it's gonna be close.
Man.
It might be. I might go as dangerously to say it might be as good as the Joker.
Ah.
Damn.
I am so excited. So excited.
You been doing anything else other than painting, Mike?
I haven't even been painting. honestly. So I guess when did we talk? We talked like Sunday or Saturday or something, like last Saturday.
Yeah, like it must have been at least a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been like a week, and like I go through like I'm that type of person where when I'm creative, I feel like being creative, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the lulls. I'm sure all you guys know how that stuff goes and whatnot. But it's like, so we had a discussion, and I was like, well, I got time now, so I'll get started on your thing this week and whatever. And then I think between like one night, I did the rough sketch, I did the layout, I did the transfer, I did everything, and I started this thing. I did all my washes and all my like basic value tones, and then I did like one layer of paint, and then it hasn't been touched since last Sunday. So within like a 36-hour window, I did like a bunch of work, and I just ran it, and then I was like, bored, and just left it.
Have you been talking to Polari at all?
He's texted me once or twice to kind of check in on me, because I've been under like self-quarantine since the 10th, because I was sick, and I wasn't feeling great, so I went to the doctor and got checked out on I think the 10th or the 11th, and they were like, hey, just stay home for a couple days. If you feel better, then you can go back to work. And between the day that I decided to stay home for a couple days and the week was the week that they shut down my business. They shut down everyone's business. They made everyone stay home. So I didn't ever get a chance to get back out. So
you just never haven't left.
I've literally been in this house for 15 days straight, or at least something like that. So it's just been nuts. But yeah, he's been like checking in, and like if I don't answer him, he gets like really concerned. He's like, how you feel? Like, dude, I don't want to talk. I just want
to be a good mother hen.
I just want to go back to work. That's all I want to do.
I've been working from home since the 10th too. It's been crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
What is there any are there any accurate predictions right now of how long this whole like shutdown is going to be? Or I mean, I know we don't really want to talk about this stuff right now, but
no, I think information is good to pass along. So I know for a fact that the schools are closed until April 15th. At least the public schools.
My boys are done until the April 21st.
Yeah.
And then we just found out today that we have a friend that works in this, who's a teacher in the city, that they've kind of handed in all their stuff for like end of the year stuff. So there might be a possibility they may not even go back, especially the city people.
I'm hearing a lot of that too. I think school's probably going to be a done deal. If I were going to, be a wagering person on it, I don't see us honestly going back to work, especially for us that work in the city, until at the very best mid to late May.
Yeah, well, they're saying that they expect the apex of this thing to be in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So in 3 weeks, and then it still has to come down.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna say June.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably a healthy prediction.
Back to like some semblance of, we won't get big gatherings or anything. We won't get back to like some semblance of normalcy till about June. End of May.
Probably the most accurate.
Hope I have a job then.
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy part is though, it's then you get back to June, but it's what's going to happen then, because you're still going to have the people who kind of still wary of what to do. So who knows?
It's not going to be an all at once thing. It's going to have to be a gradual get back to somewhat normal.
Well,
it's going to take time.
My biggest thing is I don't have the luxury of social distancing.
Yeah, you don't.
True.
Got to be within inches of people at all times. I don't know exactly how that's going to look going forward. It's going to be interesting. I might have to wear a mask. I might have to only tattoo people who had it, because if you're immune to it and you had it already, you can't get it again. So
well, apparently, I've heard a little differently actually on that too, because they're saying that someone who got it very early on tested negative a few weeks ago, but it's come back. But again, I don't know how accurate or true that is, but that's something I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard differing ones too, but for the most part, most like the experts, health guys have been saying there's immunity. But if you got like an early version of it, you might get the harder version of it later because it did mutate slightly.
Yeah, so if you get it now, you'll be more immune to it than someone who got it in December.
Like, you can get it again, but it'll be milder each time. Like if you get the bad one, you build up, you get to get it.
You're also saying that it could go away in the summer, and then when the cold weather comes back, it could come
back again.
Yeah, there needs to be a vaccine, which isn't going to be for a while, or there needs to be some sort of antiviral that works to treat it, not necessarily get rid of it, but to help.
I've got to say, the one rock star that's come out of this situation, I think we can all agree.
Sorry, you cut off. What did you say?
Yeah, you cut off.
Now?
January.
Dr. Fauci.
Fauci.
Fauci's my boy. So I think he's kind of sorry, I lost my train of thought. But
he's your boy.
I saw an interview with him, and he was saying that that's anything's a possibility. They're fast tracking whatever type of drug they would use, and it would be at the very fastest 90 months. So like a year and a half. Sorry, not 90 months. A year and a half.
90 months.
And the normal process.
In 8 years.
And I apologize. But normally, like the drug testing goes 6 years. He goes, that's the normal process. So a year and a half is like super fast track.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's drugs out there that treat like other stuff that have been found to work for this. So they're trying to get that approved for treatment for this.
Who are sick.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, I think we're looking at a year and a half.
Actually, on that subject, kind of interesting. One of my mother's friends, one of her best friends, they went down to Tahiti for to ride out the quarantine or whatever. So they went down there, and he came back because he got sick while he was down there, and he flew back up, had corona. They put him in the hospital. He had pneumonia, and they gave him that stuff. They gave him the chloroquine. That stuff they're experimenting with and they're trying to use. And he's doing better. They already sent him home. They discharged him from the hospital, and he's recovering at home instead.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, even if people still get this thing and get sick, if you could prevent people from dying, then we could all get back to normal. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing as a treatment for the flu. You can't cure it, but you could treat it, the symptoms as you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to get there.
So I play basketball with actually a doctor who's working on corona right now. He's like,
really?
in the bunker on this. He's saying, they're testing a bunch of different stuff. They've apparently some stuff that was used for HIV viruses. Like they've been testing stuff like that. So they've been throwing a lot of different stuff at it. He was in the Westchester area hospital, and they were initially seeing a lot of women between their 20s and 40s getting it. And he was thinking that, thanks for the update, Jim, that a lot of it is coming from a synagogue over there. So I think that's why it was initially showing very high in women, but now it's kind of balanced out. But, people between their 20s and, obviously elderly age have been getting it. So everybody really is at risk. So that's why, when you hear that information about, social distancing, staying away, and doing the right things here, it's for real, guys. Everyone can, even if you can't get sick or die from it, you could, pass it on to somebody who might.
Yeah, my one of my friends from high school is in I think he's in ICU. I haven't gotten an exact answer, but he's a 34-year-old firefighter, a volunteer firefighter. He's in the hospital right now, and everyone's worried about him and stuff like that. And he's, as far as I knew, was a healthy dude, and didn't have anything majorly wrong with him. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's just been random. It's almost just random,
It's going to affect everybody in some way at some point. If we don't get it, we'll know somebody who gets it. It's only a matter of time, unfortunately.
She's a pharmacist, and she's kind of on the thought process that we kind of all pretty much have it, and we've had it for a while.
That's why I've been
Like
coughing.
anybody who's been sick since like December.
That's why I've been coughing
I mean,
so much.
JJ, you probably have had it.
Yes.
You're probably patient zero.
I'm serious. Like I probably had some form. I imagine I had some form of it, but you know, I don't know. I mean, because I was for the longest time I was coughing like crazy, and I only had the cough. Whereas a sinus, you know, I don't know. It's weird.
Strange.
Yeah. My sister, about a month ago, when we went to her house for we had dinner at my sister's house about a month ago, and she was saying she was short of breath, she was coughing, she wasn't feeling great, she was tired, and we all just, you know, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. They had no idea. They couldn't, you know, there was no diagnosis. They kept saying, you know, we don't know. And now she's thinking it could have been that. She's I think 4 months pregnant or 6 months pregnant.
Wow.
And she was pregnant at the time, and they were like, maybe you're just, you know, having weird stuff going on with pregnancy or something. But now they're
She obviously rode through it fine though, right?
Yeah, no, she's fine now, and you know, everyone in the house is fine, luckily. But we were all over there. We all had dinner. We were all together, and so we don't know. And then I got sick March 10th. I had sinus infection stuff. They said it was a sinus infection. They didn't check me for COVID because I didn't fit the rest of the symptoms. All I had was sinus stuff, but they didn't bother to check me or test me or anything like that. So given how broad the range is on the symptoms, I could have had it. My sister could have had it. My mom could have had it.
Absolutely.
Crazy, man.
Kind of crazy.
All right, so Toy Story, I want to hear what you've been doing with your time here.
All right, so exclusively two things. This stack of books, which starts with this.
That's what I'm doing. If I get nothing else done, I want to read Lord of the Rings.
I have wanted to read Lord of the Rings since I was a kid, and I never have. So I just finished The Hobbit.
That is awesome.
You finished The Hobbit?
Yeah, today.
Isn't it a great book?
Yeah. Read the rest.
What's that?
The Hobbit is such a great book.
Don't read the rest.
The Hobbit was much better than The Lord of the Rings.
I know they're extremely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing that, and then Jim, what's that, Jim?
So did you finish Dune?
Yes, I did finish Dune. I finished that a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Just the first one?
Yeah, it was good. It was long though, so I need a break. I might read the other ones at some point.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know when you get to The Lord of the Rings, there's about 87 pages
of songs
that go on consecutively of like dwarven and elven songs.
Yes, I can't wait.
Feel free to skip right over those.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I've been doing that.
I think I would have started with the I would have saved The Hobbit to the last. Read the other ones before The Hobbit, but I loved all of them.
You read The Lord of the Rings?
I read them all. I love all of them, and I've read them multiple times.
All right, cool. I'm excited. I'll probably start Lord of the Rings later tonight. So I've been doing that, and I've been playing this, which Jim knows very well.
So have I. So have I.
Best freaking game I've played in a while.
It's So
can you tell us what it is?
You go first,
Jim,
Matt.
go ahead.
Okay. So listen. I was
so excited.
The only reason why I picked up this game was because of Matt. Like, you kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. So I needed something. I took the kids to GameStop, and it was on the shelf, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick it up. And the guy's like, yeah, he asked me, he's like, am I, is it for me? And I'm like, yeah, it's for me, not my boys. I was like, I needed a dumb game that just wastes hours. I wanted a game that I didn't need to think about anything. He's like, this is the perfect game. So I've been playing this thing like freaking crazy. It's addicting as hell. It is. I catch myself. So listen, I catch myself at we've been having like company meetings for like 2 hours at work, and I hope nobody at my work listens to this. So we have company meetings where I'm on video, but like just like this, it's a Zoom meeting. I'm up there, and a lot of times for some strange reason, my picture is always up, like within the top row, because when it's so large, there's one top row and everybody can see me because they all like, oh, we see your kids and all that. But underneath the table, I'm playing this stupid game, and It's mind numbing. So you basically start out as this kid or this person, and you just basically start building an island. You know, you got to build. They give you a tent, and then you got to catch butterflies and catch fish to get money to do.
You got to build a community on an island. Essentially, you can do whatever the hell you want.
It's the stupidest thing on the planet, but it's so mind numbing that it's great, and I can't put the damn thing down. That's the problem.
Dude, you're way ahead of me.
I am way ahead of you. And, you know, it's just, I can't stop playing this thing. So I hate you, Matt.
It's just like the kind of thing where you're like, they give you a thing. They're like, okay, you got to go. You're going to have 3 new residents come live on your island. So you got to go build their houses. Then you go build their houses. And they're like, okay, you need to put this piece of furniture in this one, this piece of furniture in this one. And then it's like, okay, I need
and you gotta make
this
the furniture.
many woods, this many stones. So then you just spend hours going around collecting all this shit and then building it.
So it's teaching you socialism?
Essentially.
Yes. It's so damn.
It came from China, didn't it?
What's that?
It came from China, didn't it?
Japan.
God, it's.
All right, I stand corrected.
It's. I hate this game, but I love it. It's so annoying.
Perfect game for quarantine.
It most certainly is, because you don't, you know, it really takes your mind off of it. It's the oddest
and
thing.
It also gives you some sense of control when you have none.
Yeah, because I tell you what, like when I first did it, I was thinking very dark. When I made this, I named my island Dark Haven. Like, I wanted to murder the people that were on this island, and I was trying to figure out a way to where I can like turn this game around to where make it so dark. Like, I didn't want to be a happy camper on this island. I wanted to be like, I wanted death, dismemberment. I wanted everything the opposite of what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
God.
Anybody who's bored and wants to pick it up, it's amazing.
I'm tired now.
Just so excited.
Stupid game.
Yeah, so that's essentially what I'm doing with my time.
What about you, Oz?
Well, like I said, I'm working those 3 days, and then the other days when I'm home, I'm out on my bike. I can't stay inside the house.
I hear you.
You have trails by you, right?
Yeah, I live a mile away from like 80, 90 miles of trails. So I see no one. I'm in the woods and I see no one. So it is fantastic. It is stress relieving. But I'm in nowhere near state for half these trails. These guys up here take them pretty seriously. And then other than that, I'm not reading any comic books right now. I'm kind of just reading a book that I picked up called Immortals. It's a novel. It sounded interesting. It's about Greek gods that have lived through time and they're becoming mortal now. It's somewhat weird, but it's in that geek genre. So
we're both reading novels and not comic books.
Yeah, I know.
Strange.
Was that based off of was the movie with like Bill based off that?
No. So it doesn't. I thought when I picked it up, I thought that's what it might have been based off of, but it's not. It's so throughout time, the gods have essentially lived normal mortal lives after Olympia fell, and as time has gone on, they've kind of lost power, and they've become more and more immortal because people have forgotten about them. And then someone decides to start sacrificing women here in New York City to these Greek gods, and they start gaining power back again somehow. It's really weird, but it's actually interesting.
So who wrote this book?
I don't know. I'd have to grab the book and tell you. Like it's. I don't know the author. It's
all right.
It's
send it to Toy Story later. We'll put it in the notes.
Yeah, that seems interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been basically. I told you guys doing a lot of X-Men reading. I was in and I'm doing all X-Men books. So everything available on Marvel Unlimited.
I feel like you've been in the 90s for so long.
Yeah. Because you know what? It gets to a point where I don't want to read like a certain title. and then I'll stop reading.
Mm.
Luckily, I think there's like a 40 book low for X Factor, so I think I might actually start crushing through some of these.
Nice.
Because X Factor favorite one by far. But yeah, I've been doing that. I've been playing a video game, still about a 4 to 5 year old game called Dragon Age Inquisition.
Nice.
I think I'm towards the end. I did just recently crush 3 different dragons, and then there's a dragon I went to fight. I can get him to about quarter life, but then he like totally demolishes my my crew. So I have to rethink my strategy a little bit there. But yeah, between those 2 things and work, so I've been so like unmotivated. I have months of back issues in the bags I haven't even opened. When I did go to Best from Ozzy, I got a bunch of more bags and boards and boxes, and I just really want to spend time doing that. I have like my table set up in the other room where I just want to get all my Spideys organized, and then move on to all the other books. But it's just I want to I've been spending so much time at home, but not actually doing any of the personal stuff. I've been so non-motivated to do it, but I think this Royal sale got the blood pumping again for the collecting. So.
It did. I want to go buy it. And now that I know my company's not closing, at least for the foreseeable future, I kind of want to buy stuff now. So we'll see.
Yeah, and that's it's a real concern. So I mean, it's probably good to be a little conservative right now. I didn't do that with my recent purchases from Royal.
Oh, I know.
Oh boy.
I'm feeling good about the future.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything.
Yeah.
I've been pulling back a little bit. I haven't bought anything. I'm just trying to keep.
I want a Silver Surfer 4 really bad.
Which one's that?
For you if I stay out of work this long.
Whenever you want, I will take you up on that. It's the one with Thor and Surfer on the cover with the rainbow.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
It's over. I can't. I was gonna pull it. It was right next.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those lately too, man.
I love them.
Let's turn this out. Let's turn this episode. Let's turn this episode into an auction. Go ahead, Mike. Go.
I do think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start doing something. If you guys don't want to go through Elite, we'll help you guys out. We'll share the feed and read the comments for Best. Ozzy. We don't have 10,000 though. We did just get 1,500.
Still something.
I got you. I have 10. I can.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
Let Mike do it.
Yeah, my wife was on the Comic Link auction like the other day, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Why do you have this one?" I'm like, "Stop buying stuff right now. We don't need this right now because right now we got to keep our funds down a little bit." Apparently, she's got a box of like 6 or 7 books that she's been dying to give me. She wanted me to give them to me tonight to open them up here, and I'm like, "No. Just save whatever book she bought me just for a future time."
Oh, the problems.
Can't stop her.
These really are nice problems to have.
Yeah, they are.
If these were the least of our problems, things would be great.
No. Yeah, but like the last 2 days, I've just been spending so much time on like different Instagram pages and eBay just looking at books. I want something so bad now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just sitting home doing nothing, so I'm like just looking at stuff.
So
I've been. Go ahead.
Are we noticing pricing coming down because of what's going on around the world, or where's that at?
I've been looking on eBay for a lot of stuff, and I can't speak for everything, of course, but I haven't seen many sales for like big books after March 15th.
So you think they pulled? You think they pulled them back?
I don't know. I think just people haven't been buying as much, but I haven't been seeing many sales after that.
So I've noticed something different.
What have you noticed?
I've noticed we haven't sold as many graded books, believe it or not, but we've sold a lot of raw books.
Well, that's what I've been checking. I've been checking out the graded books, so that makes sense.
Well, right. I've seen we've been moving so many raw books compared to graded books these past 2 weeks.
Why do you think that?
The graded books are worth the gamble. I mean, sorry, the raw books are worth the gamble.
Right, and I think that's because they're a lot more affordable.
Yeah.
We had a couple first appearances. We threw them up there, and people started snatching them up left and right.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how this is going to affect the market overall.
I mean, it's definitely. I think it's going to knock it down a bit, but I think when we come out of it, you'll probably see like a pretty big surge. I could be wrong, but once people can start going outside, that's the scariest thing. Like once it's like, okay, you can start going outside again, you're gonna see like, the opening of the flood or something like that. The dam's gonna like burst open out.
I wonder what that first day is gonna be like. Yeah. Where they're like, okay, every business can open again.
Yeah, it's just gonna be.
I'm not going anywhere.
What'd you say, Mike?
I'm just gonna stay home for another week after and just wait.
Right.
Hey, Tom Travers, real quick. What room are we in right now? What room are we in? I see this, the seashells, drapes on your.
I'm at seashells by the seashore.
Thank you.
One, I can still do that.
We're not in the bathroom, right?
My parents have a house. What? I'm not in the bathroom.
Okay.
It's a beautiful room, Tom.
I'm not sitting here,
Are you out on the island? Are you closer?
Yeah, I'm out in I'm in the north on the North Fork out in Cutchogue.
Safer out there?
Your parents' place?
Yeah, my parents have a house out here, small house out here. So I came out here. I have nothing else to do. I'm like, I'll just I'm hanging out. My sister came in from Colorado, so she's here too. And my parents visit periodically, but we're trying to like keep our distance from them because they're older. So we're trying to so basically it's my sister and I out here for a while. And then, I don't know, we're kind of playing it by ear, but.
Where's your brother at the apartment?
Yeah, he's actually, he's at the apartment. Yeah, he's back at the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's cool though. Honestly, as long as everybody stays healthy, I'm good right now. Can't complain about anything. Except not working and not making as much money as I was, but.
Yeah.
If you have a shortage of sketches, commissions, let me know.
Yeah.
Well, that listing items.
That doesn't mean
that goes for you too, Mike.
That doesn't mean the prices of the sketches go up. Just letting you know.
Well, I don't know. We got to talk about that, Jim. We got to talk about that.
We didn't talk about that though.
I know we didn't get there yet, but now I'm always always reasonable, and you guys get friends and family.
Good. All right. Good.
You guys should just learn how to do art. This way you can just hang up there and do
No.
like this.
No.
I can do art trade. It just won't be good.
I'd rather pay somebody.
Yeah, Jim, I watched Black Hole.
Nice.
Last night.
What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Actually, it had a lot of fun stuff. I like the character designs and the whole vibe. It was fun. It was a fun movie. I was like, this is pretty cool. Cool sci-fi.
So that movie came out 2 years after Star Wars. So it had a little bit of Star Wars imagery, I think, in it. With
I've never heard of this. Oh my god.
The Black Hole.
Yeah, never heard of this.
Oh my god, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, see, I saw that in the theater when it came out in '79. I remember seeing it in the theater. It's.
I'm looking at pictures now. It looks like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah. They call it a space opera. This one, I love it. It's one of my favorite flicks, and it was one of the first things within the first week of Disney Plus, I had to watch it again because it was such a great movie. And I used to have the figures, like I used to have the toys when it came out.
It's on Disney Plus.
It is.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
It looks very Battlestar Galactica like.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, you had Ernest Borgnine in it, and like it had huge actors in it back in that day. He wasn't that big, but I mean, it's just such an iconic movie to me. It was very, very special to me.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I loved it. But yeah,
Nice.
I asked Tom.
Sorry,
I asked Tom to do a sketch for me of some of the characters from that movie. So I'm glad he watched it to draw these things.
Oh, cool. Just
so what? Tiger King?
Dude, I was just about to ask that. Has anybody watched it?
What's that?
We haven't watched it yet, but I've heard so many good things.
Tiger King?
I haven't heard of it.
Dude, I've been hearing from everybody,
That's
Tiger King, Tiger King, Tiger King. I haven't seen
It's
anything yet.
basically, I hear like it's like watching a car crash.
Is
That's
that
like
Is that the thing on Netflix?
Yeah.
Smart water.
that's like the new, that's like the savior of the whole situation now. Like memers are killing it with that thing. That's like everywhere you look, there's Tiger King memes everywhere. It's
Yeah,
spectacular.
they're all over Facebook.
What else have you guys been watching? Anything?
No.
I watched what was it? I watched the first episode of this season of Ozark today. The new season of Ozark, which is pretty interesting.
That's a Jason Bateman show, right?
Yeah.
How is that?
I love Ozark. I think it's spectacular.
I need to check it out. I've been meaning to, actually.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I've been watching him since Hogan's Heroes and Teen Wolf too. So.
Yeah, I really like that. And what was the other thing I watched? I can't remember. Everything on HBO lately has been great.
Mm-hmm.
This might have been the best season of Curb Your Enthusiasm that's ever been.
Oh, really? I'm
Unbelievable.
gonna jump back into that. I only watched the first three seasons of that.
Oh, this season is unbelievable. It's absolutely great.
I've never seen
I
that.
recommend it.
I did watch that thing on HBO, the McDonald's, the Monopoly thing. It was like 6 episodes, which was really fascinating.
Oh, I heard that was good.
It was really good. I mean,
It was a scam, right?
yeah.
What is this?
It's called I think it's called McMillions or something like that, where it was it was the McDonald's Monopoly. The whole thing was a scam. Like somebody stole the pieces and gave them out to his friends and family to collect all the money, but nobody actually won the prizes, the $1 million prizes, which I remember as a kid, like you had to go to McDonald's and get these little pieces, and it was a sham.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Wow.
Like starts off as like this kind of innocuous thing where they're just like, oh, some people who worked for the company stole some pieces, and then it takes like this hard left turn into like the mob.
Yeah.
And like really cheap, like really crispy.
Oh, McMillions?
Yeah, it's
It
great.
takes a sharp left in like episode 2 or like episode 3. It takes like this sharp turn into organized crime.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it turns. It's pretty weird, and then people are getting killed, and like, oh my god, it's pretty nuts. Like you don't see it coming at all.
Is it on Netflix or is it
HBO?
HBO? Oh, HBO. Okay.
It's funny. I'll check that out.
It's pretty good. Everything on HBO this season was good. The Outsider was good.
Oh, I've heard good things about that.
It was good.
That show was good.
Which one?
Curbs spectacular. That new show Avenue 9 was pretty good.
I actually like that show. The Avenue 9 is actually pretty good.
It is. It's right. I like Hugh Laurie though. I'm a big Hugh Laurie guy. So
I was a big House fan. I loved House, and seeing him in this role, it's just like wow. Like I'm glad he's back out
House
doing
was
something.
awesome.
Yeah, but check this show out. It's pretty funny.
What is it called?
Avenue 5.
Avenue 5, Avenue 9, yeah.
Yeah,
Like that.
I love him.
And
He's
they're only half-hour episodes. Like they're not long. It's half hour. I think it's actually less than that. It's like 20 minutes or 23 minutes. But they're quick.
Well, Josh Gad's in it too.
Jack Woods. I may check this out.
Josh Gad too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I've obviously watched
Frozen 2
about 75 times already. So
Thank God my
I
boys.
tried to get my daughter to watch Roger Rabbit for a little bit today. She was into it, and then she was just like, we can watch the rest of this later. And that means you don't want to watch it. I got it.
You know, I tried
that
to
movie shaped my childhood, and you just want to throw it away. I understand.
I tried to get my boys to watch Space Jam the other day, and they got about 20 minutes into it, and they were just like, it was done. I was like, this is the greatest movie ever. It's got a great soundtrack, and it's Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. They weren't having it.
It does have a great soundtrack. We've canceled R. Kelly, but it's fine.
There were 176 episodes of House.
Yeah, it was on a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like there were
2004 to 2012. My God.
I'm definitely watching Avenue 5.
I felt bad because one of the guys that was in house, it was this the short Jewish doctor. I don't know what his name was in the show, but I'm going to say about a month ago, I saw him outside of on the street in what do you call that? The Port Authority, the bus terminal, and I felt bad for him. Like he was just on the phone yelling at somebody. I guess he's not working.
Oh man.
Or maybe he was filming.
No, yeah. All right.
I'm going with not working.
Well, I watched The Invisible Man today.
Oh, that's out too.
About that?
Yeah. Did you see it yet?
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, it's a Jim.
No, I did. I'm not going to pay money to see that.
I figured you probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
It's more thriller horror-esque. It was good though because they like rushed it to digital.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where they quick pushed it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was doing well in the theater before that, though, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So, do they have anything? Because
it's supposed to be tied to like the monster universe, right? That Universal is doing.
Yeah, it's like loosely based on the original one, but I guess they're going for a new like modern take on it. But it was really cool. It was more like sci-fi than
Did it seem like it was like linked to like the other stuff though? I don't know if you've seen like the Mummy or what was the other one that they did?
I haven't seen any of the new ones. No.
I thought they shit canned that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they shut it down after the Mummy. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this whole universe," and the Mummy came out. They're like, "Never mind." Let's do it.
Did, like, awesome.
They walked it back. They were like, did not do well. So
yeah, this was like a modern take on it. It was like, so the Invisible Man, whatever, it wasn't supernatural. He was a tech guy and he made an invisible suit.
So it's like the Bacon one. It's like Hollow Man.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but this was Kevin Bacon's wasn't a suit. I love Hollow Man, by the way.
That was good.
Like my favorite. Yeah. Kevin Bacon.
So Matt. So was this movie? You said it was sci-fi.
It was horror, but it was more sci-fi based. I guess I would call it sci-fi. Because the guy who's the invisible.
The commercials look horror. That's why I don't want to see it because I'm not into horror flicks.
It's totally a little bit horror. It's more thriller horror than straight horror. But essentially, like the guy who's invisible, he's a like super genius optics guy. So he creates this suit that like has a million little cameras on it that turns the wearer invisible. Essentially,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. But you gotta be into that kind of stuff.
I've disliked Elizabeth Moss since Mad Men. So the fact that she's like the person who they're pushing in previews, I'm like, nope, I'm good.
she's the main character, so that's fair.
Yeah, she was like she was my least favorite character in Mad Men. I loved everyone else, and she was just like,
yeah, that's about it though. I haven't watched anything else yet. I take that back. I watched Dracula from the 50s with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee.
That is awesome. That's an awesome movie.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Who does Peter Cushing play?
Van Helsing.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I may have to check this out.
You should. It's really good. I have the file. I'll share it with you on Google Drive.
The file that he paid for.
Legally. Yes, of course.
That's great. What about anybody else? I think we got a couple more minutes, right? Maybe 10.
Yeah, we're at 126.
Okay.
And I'm done. It's just like.
Yeah, I'm. This is 3 glasses now, so I think I'm done.
This was 2. No, I want another. I want another one, but my wife is still in bed with the little one, trying to get him out to sleep.
All right, so just stay down here until they're all asleep.
I haven't had a single drink all this time.
Really?
I know. Well, he's working hard. He's hard at work here.
No, I'm saying since quarantine. So I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is.
Wow. Oh, wow. Good for you.
I didn't.
That's why Texas is beating us.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that wraps it up, guys? Do you got anything else?
I think we're good for now. We should do another one of these soon, though.
Yeah,
this is awesome. Even if we don't record it, we should try and get the whole crew.
Update everyone on what we've been doing for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Basically.
So we will.
I mean, I guess
We will say that though. So we were subjected to go to CradleCon, which has now been canceled.
That's true.
yeah.
What about the other one? Have they canceled the other show, EternalCon?
It's in July.
That one's in July. What'd you say?
No. We got wind. That's canceled.
It is.
Yeah.
So EternalCon's canceled.
So, yes.
All right.
Damn.
We only did a deposit on that one.
What's that?
Yeah. What?
What did you say?
I said we only did a deposit for that one.
Yeah, we didn't pay full yet.
It's amazing. All right. Well, so we're not going to be
all right,
there.
well, I guess, yeah.
Those were our two big
who
shows
knows?
this year. So.
I mean, I think best case situation, our first show may be New York Comic Con.
To
I'll
attend.
be honest with you guys. What?
To attend, right? We're not selling anything in New York.
No, we're not going to be selling anything.
You don't think Terrificon's going to happen?
When is that again?
Mid-August.
That's
It's
dicey.
a hard maybe.
Yeah, dicey.
I almost forgot about that. I actually never booked the hotel room. We could probably get them for 67 cents a night.
Might as well. We get our money back. So.
All right, cool. Well, we thank all you guys for joining. We thank all you other guys for joining us. Tom, Mike, and Oz. What's that face about, JJ?
Nothing. Keep going. You were slurring your words again, so that's why I was cringing. Is it
the 3 scotches you've had?
You're gonna hear this. You're gonna text me going, "What the hell is this? Why did this happen?" And I don't have an answer for you.
So did you figure out why we sound like we're in?
I honestly, I think right now you sound slurry because it may be the desktop you're using because everybody else has been perfect. I don't know the answer, but that may be it. I don't know. We'll talk offline another time about this, but it's fine.
Well, you still got my desktop.
What?
You're the one who set up my desktop.
I know that.
All right.
I'm gonna catch crap for this.
All right, whatever. Well, I didn't listen to the last one after I heard the witness protection thing, so I hope I did. All right, so someone else take us out if I sound terrible.
All right. We're gonna wrap this up so that I could go read my Hobbit songs for 67 pages. So until next time, remember.
Go feed the geeks!